Brio bamasabala imwesi babelindiye Mbale uncensored ari fesa watino kuli Entebbe Zoo oba hu Uganda Wildlife Education Conservation Center ano mushirimba Entebbe sigwetira kubonaho bisoro bya burawa bye muchewa iseniye deri kwenani nza kubanga ngo burisa mu bitwa kubisoro bitsa kubanga birerewa mushirimba Mbale mu Mbale Zoo ili yambi kumalilisi waka so kuliano katasovu kuka musingo David umukosi urangirira sawa sinoli biho liye bisoro lino imanya halenga UWECC Entebbe ateniyo kubanga harenga hatsinenge harenga hatse kurerandi rundi izu mushirimba Mbale iri kuombeha ku mukosi wa Mbale ukwira itoro nishitirwa cyo bonanga bongera munabi kuwana rasa khuli na bisoro bye muchewa kutavanga kuchendera twera we nondelele na chendemu kuja kwanza ihalewa ihale no naswa kumsindia wa kuikhala utafambile kamera ngaji Kulini kuka Emmanuek Mukisa yinasomera ku Mbale comprehensive sawa tinaramba ni UWECC ano Entebbe Zoo mwene iyo hubanga kuchendesa bas shije kulini bakula abandia bamasabana babandi bali yo musahulu Emma wali awula musahulu Emma umukangi kuli yawo kuchenda mumbola lesi ni ba Emma bonyene ba Emma bataru bose so kuli Entebbe muzo ari kuka nyombolereho kinashifura izu Entebbe ino yaburawa kutizitsinde mushibana
ari wabone izu Entebbe ino iri mu natural setup nga wakibone it's not just cages
iri ngolele busata
tawe iwana yo chisoro chose is another natural that nature that the feeling of nature
iwe atori muche wa mugwene
shows the environment for instance these enclosures Tabori their real home in the wild.
Yes.
So stress so why to yamunso na chefeta.
Okay. The only tigers in East Africa.
So they only had zero
in Africa or East Africa?
East Africa.
In East Africa.
Africa does not have tigers in national park.
Africa has no tigers, only Uganda having these ones.
So we give them this and we can't allow them to go outside. We have a hotline around. You see the eyes, The eye have some black mark running from the eye to the lips. Now those lines are not on any other cat apart from the cheetah. And leopards do not have those spots.
Those lines are tears.
Those tear marks, they enable the cheetah to see better during daytime. They're like sunglasses.
Okay.
So they're not on any other cat. You can't find them on the leopard. And leopards don't have such a smaller head. Their heads are bigger and their body is bigger compared to the cheetah. But another thing is on the color, on the rosettes, on the spots. As this one has dots, leopards have some sort of petal flowers. Them should be in the water. You know, when it rains, water will become a little bit warmer. So crocodiles can submerge completely and you don't see them.
But where is the second one?
It should be submerged in the water. One of them is out, but one should be down in the water.
This is what?
Otter.
Not puma.
Is it friendly?
No. It can also bite. It prefers to be in the waters. It eats fish. Yeah, so it's...
it just swallows?
No, it will chew. It has very sharp canine teeth.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are the biggest zoo in East West and Central Africa with being the best in East West and Central Africa. With 90% of our animals being rescued as orphans.
Okay.
As animals that are not happening in the wild. So
you rescue them from the wild,
from illegal wildlife traffickers, so or illegal possessors. So this is like a rehab where animals get another chance to live.
Okay.
And we have evolved since 1952 to now the best zoo in East Western Central Africa.
So now in Mbale, the Mbale Center, what are some of the animals that people should look forward to touring there?
Look forward to seeing Italy.
Italy
is coming
lion
anytime soon. Chindemu.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing Chindemu. Look forward to seeing variety of antelopes.
Yeah.
And of course, let's keep our fingers closed. We might have the biggest cat in the land of the Bamasaba, the tiger, of course.
Okay, tiger.
Then
waliyo buhobe bwesi bunyiri bwesi bamisako kimishinga chesi basinde bashindisa na munakurererayo black and white
colobus.
Bas.
When there is a snake, you don't advise not to kill them. Call us, you come and pick for free. You pay to come and see them at the zoo. I understand.
Cobra. Imbi.
Do you have a big? But that one is bigger than this. But there are three. Is it that?
These are two.
Those are two.
You see, there is one head here, another head here.
Echo.
Is it poisonous?
No, this one is not.
Even if it bites you, you can't die, eh?
No. The teeth don't have venom.
Eh?
The small snakes, most of the small snakes are the ones that do.
Oh. And these are the ones which stays on water.
No, the ones on water are different.
Okay. This is a male and a female.
Yeah, male and
So someone who's in Mbale who is still waiting for the Mbale Center to be complete and would like to know how much is he supposed to pay when he comes here with his school or with the family when he comes to Entebbe.
Right now, this is the cheapest zoo in East Africa. When it's a school, we give a subsidized entry. Learners enter at a fee of 10,000 if they have not booked. But we've put up a platform for booking, so if you book, you enter at only 8,000 per student, whether you are from university, whether you are from primary or kindergarten, so long as you come as a school group. But when you come as a family, it's 10,000 for adults, for children, sorry, and 20,000 for adults.
Okay. All right.
It's called Nguji. And an app is called Angela.
What happened to it?
No, that's how female baboon and the antelopes. Here, animals can coexist.
Okay.
Even as you wait for the Mbale Zoo, you see that other animals are mixed up.
Okay.
Due to their feeding behavior. All these ones are they are grazers, and some are browsers who feed on top.
Okay.
So they are basically herbivores. They can coexist, and their aggression levels are not 6 years.
6 years, the small one. So what about the other one?
These are two different species.
So it's also an antelope.
Yeah, that's the biggest antelope. It's called an eland.
Okay. But it broke its horn.
In one horn. That's why we exist here, to rescue and give a chance to one animal that is disadvantaged in the wild. Need just know the thing, right? That was Kyenjonjo during Eid. Find many of these ones.
Masjid Nur.
We are doing what they call exploring.
So this is going to be a bird aviary. All birds in Entebbe Zoo are going to be put here.
They are going to be enclosed here, eh?
All birds are going to be here.
All the species, or they are going to be types. All the birds that we have here, different species.
They can coexist, eh?
Yeah.
So
chimpanzees.
Thank you for coming. Angel. You're not your time. Gulu.
Divine namwe.
Boleraho mu masaba kuba shina usonga shina yose yahahumwira muzuhuza aho dayahulambula bisoro ngabi.
First of all, it connects you to nature. You know for sure, even before creation, God first created nature. And he later all created man to look after nature.
Yes.
So how will you look after nature without knowing how nature is? So the zoo connects you to nature. You can see these big animals very close. We have seen the lion so close,
yes.
The tiger so close.
Yes.
Something you can't do in the national parks.
Okay.
So I encourage you, Mama Saba, muite hubone italangi, hubone vyote tana.
Yes.
Which inhabitant is friendly that you can even play with it, you are taking a
photos. Even this rhino.
Rhino. People.
No, rhinos are vegetarians. So when you pay for the other program called Behind the Scenes, you can take pictures closer to the rhinos. You can take pictures closer to the giraffes.
So you have a service called
Behind the Scenes.
How much does someone pay?
Just 50,000 for Ugandans and $70 for non-Ugandan for foreigners. Actually, the 50,000 is for East Africans.
Okay.
Adults. The children pay 30,000
for close pics.
That means you are going closer to some animals. You are feeding some animals like the giraffe, like the chimpanzee, like the rhino. Then you are going closer to the lions, just so close, like an inch away from the lion.
Okay.
In the world, you can find it.
So you only have this.
This
when
is So we have some at Zoo Rhino Sanctuary, but nowhere in Uganda's national parks. Okay. That's why they're saying it's extinct in the wild. The introduced populations are found at Ziwa and UWECC.
To pursue a career that pushes you to work with animals.
Man, me growing up from Mbale, I used to see very many conflicts between Mbale residents, that is on the slopes of Mount Elgon and near the national park with the authorities. So I honestly got inspired to reach in there because many people around national parks are having injustices.
True.
And it's better for us to understand exactly the animals. You need to understand nature, and you honestly help people coexist, because man cannot live without wildlife, and wildlife can't live without man. But for the largest extent, wildlife can still survive without man. So we need to take this career to understand and lay strategies of coexistence. So as Mbale, where I spent most of my time on earth, I felt like if I partake this career, I can also come out, and help people coexist with nature instead of fighting between the park management and the people, residents, but also encroaching on habitats, human-wildlife conflicts. There has to be an end, and an end can only come when you are aware of it. So work has built me into someone who understands how to coexist, and this I've started to share with the public, to share with my people, to share with my friends, to share with my alumni, but also to share with the authorities. So it is important for us to learn how to stay with nature.
Shitwala kubyesi baza kufuna mongezo yiyetire Mbale niyo bisoro bibasumbwa bye mukiye wakuvukuliwa bibibi wawe eneo mutachikola tikashino.
Yes. And this is done at no cost. Even all the snakes we have seen today, we have picked them from people's homes. So Mbale should be very excited because we are a center of rescue. As we come to Mbale, we shall be rescuing animals from your communities. Timondo, when they are disturbing, we bring them here in the valley. Timondo ni savo cats. That's
we have them here.
We have them. We are going to see them.
I need to see
Imondo. Wera maora maoholera kumukutu kwa Mbale Uncensored kuli mu Entebbe Zoo niyesi kuli kukulambula ho bisolo bitula hubyo bitakulera mushirimba shembale.
They are many. For them they are many.
We have these ones. We need to.
It is big.
Ngenywe babandu badilinga ni bisolo byo.
You have accidents?
No. What we do, we have SOPs, follow standard operating procedure. Also, you go prepared. You put on rightly. If you are sick, you can't go closer to animals. Now, like the chimpanzees, they are 98.7% human. Even like I have flu, I can't go close to them. Never warm. So anything. So you have to take precaution. Before we open for these animals, we count them, we do animal census, and be sure outside we have 10 lions. So you don't just enter, because these animals, we have not made them friendly. They can eat me. So we follow the right procedure. We don't joke with these animals. We are close to the state house. We have very many children that visit here. Up to 60% of visitors are children. So we can't risk to just take it for granted. We follow right procedures, and that has helped us. So for the time that we have existed, we've never had any animal escape or an accident.
You haven't had any scenario where a ranger goes to maybe get this animal, then gets beaten from there by this animal or eaten?
No, that hasn't happened, and this is attributed to how we are very serious on our work. We don't take it for granted, and we have, for the time we have existed, we haven't had any of those incidents.
You sell some of these animals. If I'm a tycoon, I have my big home. I want to put there some of these animals for beauty. Do you sell some of these animals or their products to people who come around here?
Now, fortunately, we have the WildLife Act 2019 that has user rights. Yeah, so if someone wants to trade in wildlife, they ought to follow the user rights, which is attributed in WildLife Act 2019.
Yes.
But UWECC is not an agency that sells wildlife. So as you might aware, we have an authority where we subscribe to. We are a conservation area, so we subscribe to. And in case you want to trade in wildlife, you ought to follow right procedures. You visit the authorities, because it's good people to start up private ranches, private zoos to improve on conservation efforts. Yeah, but it's not also good for someone to have negative ambitions. If you want to trade animals for food, if you want to trade animals for pets, sometimes it's not. It's not ethical. People might just want to have something and they keep it in a cage. So when you apply for these things, you undergo scrutiny, and they find out, are you able to start it up? Do you have the capacity? So all that, but you ought to follow right procedures. If you go through corners, you ought to be arrested, because the Uganda Authority has a mandate to conserve for generation. Therefore, these animals, they are under its care. They are the stewards. And like I said, as UWECC, for us, we do not deal in trade of wildlife.
Okay. Like in normal days, when people come here to tour, how many schools do you receive in a week coming to this place? And you also tell us UWECC's plan to decongest people who come to tour to this place.
So as we have been touring with you, Derek, you have witnessed that the zoo has changed, totally changed. If you look behind, even just 1 year ago, we didn't have these paved roads. Yeah, we didn't have these big facilities. So what we are doing is to ensure that we also work on some other challenges, including congestion. Because as UWECC, we on a busy day, especially second terms, we can receive about 200 schools in a day, and that is slightly tiring, but also slightly it may not give better services, because we strive to ensure that you all get value for money. So what we do, we have worked upon a plan to make sure that we decongest and we bring the zoo to your village, we bring close to the zoo to your city. And for now in Mbale, you are the luckiest city, because we are bringing the zoo to Mbale city. And this is going to help out to ensure that learners from Mbale schools, learners from the East, can easily access all these resources, and we can give you effective education. Because here at the zoo, when you come, you don't just come to tour and see. You are much aware that the new curriculum has incorporated conservation in there, and we are supporting the new curriculum. We have developed study material, we have developed the secondary school curriculum book to support you to understand conservation. So as we bring the zoo closer to Mbale, we are going to help all the Mbale schools, all the Eastern schools, to have this resource closer, affordably, but also to help you understand. And it's not going to stop in Mbale. We are coming to Gulu, we are coming to Kyenjonjo. All these cities are going to be having satellite centers, and this all is going to help us out to disseminate information to different people, but especially schools. Now, we don't just receive schools, but we care about schools because it's very sustainable if the little ones get to understand the nature.
Yes, tomorrow's
be steward. You are the tomorrow. You are the tomorrow Emmas. You are the tomorrow Derricks. You are the tomorrow president. So we need you to understand nature, learn something about nature, and live as an informed individual.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Maybe as we finish this tour today, I want you to tell our viewer, why is this called? Some people call it UWECC, others call it Entebbe Zoo. Can you differentiate for us that one the people know very well?
So, history is something that you cannot just wake up in the morning and you change. No one changes history. So like I said, we started in 1952 as a rescue center. At that time, it wasn't even a zoo. It was just a rescue center where animals that were orphaned, that were illegally trafficked, could be brought here near the airport. We are about just 4 kilometers from the airport, the international airport. So this place used to be a rehab center, and later on, in the 1960s, it transformed into a traditional zoo. Now in a zoo, animals were kept in cages, and visitors could come and see them. Why was this resorted to? Some animals will not go back to the wild. They could be lame, and taking them back to the wild would be suicide. So management by then resorted to turning this from just a rescue center into a zoo, and allowed visitors to check in. Later on, this place transformed. Now, by then, the zoo had even wild and native animals like tigers and bears. But due to the political instabilities ahead in the late 80s, you know what happened. So the zoo went to a standstill. Now, in the 95s, this zoo was re-established as a Uganda WildLife Education Center. Okay?
Yes.
But later on in 2015, more mandates were added, and this place had transformed into a statutory body that was in charge of managing and conducting conservation education in the country. Now, that changed the name into Uganda WildLife Conservation Education Center. Until today, that the zoo was merged to the bigger body Uganda Wildlife Authority, and we stay as Uganda WildLife Conservation Education Center as a conservation area that is managed by our own